All right, YouTube. I don't know why it's such a rough start here at Meineke Cinnamons. As you've seen in the last video, there's a customer asking me a bunch of questions about a car that doesn't belong to us, and it's here for recondition work. And he's asking me for prices on the recon work, and I'm like, go up front, just like I tell everybody. Go up front and see Rachel, and she will give you prices. I just don't know what the disconnect is for the people in this area who see this. Let me just show you the office. Ready? I'll show you the office. That's the office. You see the open sign and the door? That's where you go in, just like a bank. You don't go in through the side door. You go through the front doors, and then you go in and talk to people there. No different here. So he asked me how much a rear main seal is on a Toyota Tacoma. I'm like, go up front. I don't know what things cost, and talk to Rachel, just like I said to you the first time. I don't know how much more, excuse me, clearer I can be. So then he did, and then Rachel was like, it's not our car, it's here for recondition work. Call the owners if you want to know what's wrong with it and how much the car is. And that's the truth. We don't know what we should be telling them, because our used car dealers don't want us discussing things with the customer, but sometimes you have to tell them what's going on. But it doesn't even have a rear main seal leak anymore. I fixed it already. But he doesn't need to know that. The car's fixed. It needs other work that we're waiting for approval on, but that's that. So anyway, so we had the tire guy this morning who wasn't interested in quality repairs for his tire. The Toyota Tacoma customer who wouldn't listen to me and go to the office and get information. And then the third guy was a Toyota for exhaust, and he has exhaust noise. He's coughing and hacking in the office in front of Rachel. He's outside pacing around. Jude and I check the car out. We find that the converter is ready to fall off. And he has multiple other issues that could be related to exhaust that he doesn't want to hear. So we go through our normal list that the exhaust doesn't have any audible sound, although there is a piece ready to fall off. The tires are chopped. The rear sway bar frame bushings are rattling. It probably has a hub bearing noise. Power steering's leaking. It needs brakes all the way around. And he's out here while we're looking at it telling us that it's a noise when turning, but he needs exhaust. Okay, but you want us to check your exhaust. We found a problem with your exhaust, and you don't want to acknowledge the other problems. Now, on top of this guy, he seems like he needs infectious control disease center, because he's coughing and hacking and sneezing and wiping his snotty face all over the place while he's touching my doors and my office. You don't need to go to a shop if you're that sick. And it's obviously there's a problem with you, and you're spreading your germs and disease around in the air and touching it. And then I had to get in your car and touch it. And I don't want to be exposed to things like that. Even if you wear gloves, people's cars still have mold spores and bacteria in the air. Open the door, close the door, you're moving air around and dust particles. So, yeah, and Rachel said, that customer had no respect for anyone in the world but himself. On top of wasn't interested in fixing his car. On top of not even entertaining the list of other repairs that could potentially lead to an exhaust sound that aren't from the exhaust system. So, after Rachel was back and forth with this customer and realized that he was just dicking around, she basically said, please leave my shop. You should not be around people. This is what we're dealing with here, at least at Meineke Cinnamons. I should just welcome him in and give him a cup of tea and have him sit around and let him sneeze his bio functions all over the place, right? But no, get out. You're sick. Who knows if he has COVID? Who knows what his problems are? But we don't need you at our shop. You don't need to be here if you want your car fixed. So if you're that sick, why don't you just drop your car off and leave, and have respect for people around you, for one. Because he wasn't interested in fixing his car at all. So He's just going to drive around and torture people and spread his germs around, which is unfair to me, Rachel, and everyone else. And Rachel is immune compromised, so it's worse for her when people come in and sneeze and cough and have a runny nose and, have bad personal hygiene. We really see it all here. So that's my day so far. But now I'm moving on to a turn signal switch in this Kia. And I'm not talking bad about people. This is the real world here at Meineke St. Vincent. This is the reality of what we deal with. I, for one, don't go places that I don't intend to consume their services. It's just me. I don't go from store to store to store to store. I pick a place, I go in, check the reviews. I mean, that's simple before you go someplace and say, hey, wow, this guy does great work, or he has great reviews, or whatever the case may be. I will tell you this, April and I are shopping for a new washer and dryer, not only to be energy efficient, but to educate ourselves more. Actually, I feel sick after this guy now. You ever get in someone's car and just feel sick? Yeah, that's happened to me many times. And it's not because it's a mind thing. It's something going on with that person or the car. So, I'm not calling around torturing people. I'm not going from Home Depot to Lowe's to this person to that person torturing people. I did my research online. Not that I expect online pricing, because I know that's not reality. And what I did is knowledge is power. And I think for me, I've been buying the wrong washer and dryer for years. And technology has evolved. Although technology has evolved and products are made cheaper and don't last as long, they have evolved. Just like solar, I should have done solar in the beginning when solar came out on my roof. The incentives were better in the beginning. The incentives are not as good now. But the technology of solar wasn't what it is 10 years later. So I'm kind of glad that I did and I didn't. I still received some tax benefits for that. But I educated myself about solar in the beginning. And when I didn't hear what I wanted from the first solar company, I waited, and then finally 10 years later, a solar company gave me what I wanted for KW on my roof. And better technology. It's my knowledge steered me in the right direction. Like, hey, you're only offering 5 kW on a house that consumes 10 kW. There's real no benefit, even though the incentives were higher. And I'm glad that I waited the time that I did, because now I have the KW that I'm looking for on my roof, and not quite the incentives, but it all works out for me. But same thing with the washer and dryer. Like, why does it take 3 hours to do laundry with modern washer and dryer? I mean, mine are 7 years old. They're not antiques. And then I replaced them from stuff that I had for like 10 or 15 years, no, 10 years. And the reason why I replaced them is because I wanted more energy efficient stuff. And I just never, I don't do laundry, but my feedback is it takes me 3 hours to wash and dry clothes. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, we're trying to be energy efficient. So then what I did is did my homework. I call it do your homework, right? I didn't do my homework before I purchased the Tesla. And if I did my homework before that, I would have probably never purchased it. Sorry, Elon, your product's not that great. But now what I did is I know that people in the industry for equipment probably aren't as trained and knowledgeable as what I could find out on my own. So what I learned about washers and dryers, so there's some dryers out there, and I use a vented dryer. And from what they're saying is a vented dryer dries the fastest. Hi, I'm doing a video.
Another one?
Yes.
You're making money off these videos?
Yes.
You know that occasionally TikTok sneaks pictures of naked people in there. Have you seen that?
No.
They do, yeah, I see. I saw some women totally naked, men totally naked, yeah.
You had women come to your...
No, just pictures of naked, like on TikTok. You scroll through.
No, what I'm saying is you had pictures of naked women come to your TikTok?
Yeah, yes.
That doesn't make sense.
It happens, I get it.
They're confused on TikTok.
Well, they sneak them on there, they get pulled off there.
No, I've never seen any naked women on TikTok. or men or whatever.
So many cars come up here and crazy. It's gotta go back to get more cars now. Go get more
Okay,
cars.
is that the one for the fuel level sender?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I got more
Thank you. So, and I could go to Home Depot, and I could go to Lowe's, and I can go to Elbows, and I can do all this place. I just don't think there's product knowledge people out there more than I can educate myself on a specific product. So I learned about washing machines and dryers. What I learned about dryers is a vented gas dryer supposedly is more efficient depending on what it costs for the gas and electric, right? And how long it runs. So I was like, all right, I need the fastest dryer, gas powered, that can dry a full load of laundry in 30 minutes or somewhere around there versus my hour to hour and a half gas powered dryer, reducing my energy costs. So that was one. So then we found a dryer that meets my needs based on what I am trying to accomplish and me not being an educated buyer of a dryer. Figure you buy a dryer and the dryer should work. No, that's not that case. So then April's like, all right, I found a washing machine. Mind you, we didn't call anybody. We didn't go shopping at any stores. We did our own research to figure out how a dryer, how a washer works. And then now we nailed down the dryer. Now we're going to nail down the washing machine. I can get interrupted all day long here. I will after I finish my video.
Okay, and check engine light came back on the Chevy S10. I forgot to tell you.
Okay.
I told Dustin not to worry about it until you bring it in here.
So what I did learn about washing machines is that certain washing machines spin at a higher RPM, therefore getting more water out of the washing machine, out of the clothing you're washing, reducing your dry time. So then I told April, I was like, all right, well, the average washing machine spins at about 800 RPMs, 8 to 1200 RPMs. So if I'm buying a washer that's 8 to 1200 RPMs, it's a longer wash time based on my research that I did. And I know I'm kind of getting off subject here, but whatever. But if you're looking to reduce your energy costs at your home, this is what you need to do. And do I think that I would have got the right information in Home Depot or Lowe's? Absolutely effing not. No way. I don't think they are as product knowledge as you think. And anyway, so 8 to 1200 RPMs. So I said I want a washing machine that's 1400 to 1800 RPM spin. And the faster you spin it, right, the faster it's going to get the moisture and water out of your clothes. And then we were looking at how long does it take to do a load of laundry. It's between 28 and 38 minutes on a newer style machine that the RPM spin higher on, and the other ones are an hour or longer with a slower wash cycle. So it depends on what you're looking for. For me, I want a fast wash and I want a high RPM. So we're between 28 and 34 minutes for our washing machine, and we need to pick the manufacturer. But the dryer we've nailed down. It's very expensive for that dryer, but you know what? What it will cost me in energy savings every month versus the upfront cost is far worth it. So I want better quality that we can potentially get from what they make today, because everything they make, in my opinion, is garbage anymore. Hence, I have a refrigerator in my basement that's going on 20-something years old that works perfectly fine, and I've been through four or five refrigerators upstairs in the last 18 years, if that gives you anything. So when I moved to New Jersey from Philly, I brought my trusty white refrigerator that was in the basement of that house that was never failed. And then the one that we took from Philly to my house failed, which was an expensive one. So it's just the way it is, right? So something 25, 30 years ago will far outlast today's technology, in my experience. But now we're talking about washer and dryer. And point to this, I did my own research. I did my own homework without torturing people or wasting your time or being sold something that I necessarily don't know anything about. So now that I know for myself what my expectations are for a washer and dryer, I will have this product knowledge for the rest of my life and never just buy a product that doesn't work for me. Michael, you're back again?
Where's Caleb?
Caleb is off today.
Why?
because we're not busy. We don't carry overtime hours when the shop is not busy. And the people who've been showing up here to get their car fixed recently, they don't want their car fixed. So I can't pay people $30 or $40 an hour to stand here and do nothing and just look at people's cars all day long.
I'll do that for $30 an hour.
I'm just telling you, this is the real world here.
Does this car smell like a dentist's office to you?
Actually, the car that I got out of that had the infectious disease guy, I actually felt something coming on. And then I got in here and I was like, wow, this is such a pleasant, clean car. It does smell like a dentist office.
I know this. It does smell. I know.
Kudos to this guy for keeping it clean.
It came though. It's not that clean. My floor would never look at that in my car.
Well,
never.
that's gonna happen.
Oh, no, never.
That's gonna happen.
I vacuum my car 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
Every week. Never. All right, good more cars.
All right, thank you. Michael's bringing me more cars. But yes, just to cover up what he's saying, why isn't Caleb here? The customers who've been showing up, they don't, in my experience, they don't want their car fixed. You come here with a problem and I tell you what's going on, and it's really not rocket science. You need a new tire. What are you going to do? They don't want to fix it. Okay, drive away. Come in with an exhaust problem. We're not even saying you need a whole exhaust system. We said you need one part, but you have multiple other issues. And he's sick as a dog, and he's wasting our time. And out the door he goes. So, and then another guy asked me about a rear main seal that doesn't even have a rear main seal problem. I can't have people just standing around trying to turn customers who don't have any intentions in fixing their car. I call that information seekers, and it's expensive today. Technicians aren't cheap, and it's you can't just have mechanics on payroll standing around just answering questions and not fixing cars, especially for customers who don't want to fix cars. They don't want to fix their car. And that's the reality of why Caleb's not here. You know, if I had customers who were serious about fixing their car, which we do, they bring their car, they drop the car off and say, hey, I have this problem, can you get it done today? Yep, we'll call you with an estimate before we do anything. Boop, 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 boop. This is what it needs, this is what we found. Okay, I can do this, I can't do that, I can afford this. And then we keep going. So some of our leads are non-convertible here. And Kevin, my manager from many moons ago, he says, well, unless you're paying for the customer's job to get it fixed, they ain't getting it fixed. Well, I'm not paying for it. And nor am I going to have a technician stand around all day long sifting through the traffic that we can't convert at $20 or $30 an hour. It's not going to happen. So Jude and I and Rachel will just manage our day the best we can for the times that we're dealing with. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something about washing machines and dryers. I need to get back on replacing this turn signals or headlight switch on this Kia with an aftermarket part that my used car dealer supplied. And you know what? If it doesn't work, they will happily pay me twice to do it or 3 times. Because this is the relationship that we know. They know that what we have today to deal with is risky for parts. They don't want to buy OEM. And I've never done a turn signal switch on here. So I'm going to start tearing into it. And then I'll bring you back with some other fun stuff. Thanks for watching.